How's everybody doing? This is part two in this particular case, speaking about the matter of abortion, if we will. And in part one, pardon me, we talked about how women are sad when they find out they may be barren, and how other women are happy for women who are pregnant, or as the Bible will say, with child. We know that oppressive societies, ancient Egypt on the House of Israel, the antebellum South of the United States, was in part about decreasing the numbers of the people. You understand? I recently saw a post on Facebook while scrolling online that motivated me to even want to sit there and do this particular talk, if we will. And in this particular manner, it becomes a thing where how often is it that people would love to prefer and love to be a matter of abortion? Let me give an example, and it has nothing to do with black people. The mother was white, the father of the child was white, the people in the building where she gave birth were white, and the ambulance staff were white. And this is what happened. Her water had broke, and she was going to be escorted to the hospital. But while being escorted, she couldn't make it, and she winded up laying on the lobby floor and having a baby that way. You understand? She winded up having a baby on the floor in the lobby. And everybody clapped and was happy. The ambulance staff that was there did their best and obviously was successful in the baby being born pretty well. No mishaps and so forth. Why do I point that out? Because we have to ask who was clapping hands and who was happy and who can take a picture later on with the baby and show the baby 9 years later. These are the people who were there when you were born, when you preferred to have an abortion. Where is the joy in that particular case? You understand? We have to begin to sit back, think, and ask, how is that even feasible, as asked in part one of this? So while people are saying it's their body and their choice, it's actually not, even in legal standards, your body. Because heaven forbid, if somebody murders somebody and that somebody that is murdered is pregnant and the baby dies too, that person who did the murder is charged with double murder. So no, it is not, quote, your body, your choice. That is another body that is growing within yours. That's not your body. Because to the people who support and advocate for it, and I'm going back from what I was talking about back to our black people. If a person is pregnant and didn't want to become pregnant, that is a whole separate matter. But when I can sit there and count 5 sisters, and by sisters I mean black females, who had 2 or more abortions and was never a victim of assault, sexual or otherwise. The only thing you did was just assault the baby. You understand? With the decision that was done back in the day with the Roe versus Wade, and then with the decision that was done recently this month, the people who want to control the matter of saying abortion should be are the ones who are controlling saying abortion shouldn't be. So while you're supporting the former decision made by the Supreme Court, you're now going against the decision made by the same organization. So you got to ask yourself if you're being played as a fool, and if your rights, as you like to call it, are true rights, are true guarantees, are true blessings, are true things that you want to sit there and hold near and dear unto yourself. You understand? In my 2 cents, the people who are guilty of molestation, rape, and things of that kind of nature, that is one thing. And the rapist needs to be dealt with, not put on the down low, not hidden, not in quarantine, and so forth and so on. The molester, the one who does the assault, sexually or otherwise, needs to be brought out so everybody can know what it is. You understand? But I can speak personally that I know at least, or I know 5 females that I can say without saying their names, who had 2 or more abortions. So the argument presented, or what if this, or what if that, no, we're not talking about that. The matter of that woman, I think her name was Margaret or something Sanger, talking about the matter of Planned Parenthood and the meme that went around saying about cutting off the Negro population. She died in the 1960s. Most of the people I know are 50 and younger. They weren't even born when that lady died. So now you have people protesting throughout the different parts of the United States based upon wanting to have a said right. But as pointed out in part 1 and emphasized in this one, who in that clinic is clapping hands and taking pictures? Because they don't even let the mother of the aborted fetus see. Once they scrape out the vaginal walls of it, they put it in a jar and then take it among themselves for whatever reason. So you're not even able to have the joy of saying, this person helped deliver you. This person helped take care of you. And taking that step further, the generation born from, say, the mid-70s all the way to the early 90s, when the father, by choice or otherwise, was not inside the house, the black community wasn't able to say, wait till your father get home. I'm going to tell your father on you. It wasn't a thing like you was able to tell, in many cases, as the father to your son or even your daughter, if you mess with my lady, who's your mama, I'm going to come and see you. Because the father, by choice or otherwise, from the mid-70s to the 90s, was removed from the home in many cases. So one of the things we want to point out, so once you sit there and have it separated, the father's not there, mommy's mommy and daddy, in many, many cases, and then you have a population raised in part on video games, which is supporting about death, which is supporting about bloodshed, and things of that kind of nature. You get the Smack DVDs, World Star Hit, and all of that kind of stuff is more so promoted than the understanding of who Elijah McCoy was, the understanding of who Harriet Tubman was, the understanding of Martin Luther King and what he was and who he was, and Malcolm X and people such as that, Sojourner Truth. understanding Black Wall Street that existed over 10 years in the area of today called Oklahoma. I remember when I was in high school, and I'm 42 years old, right? They used to give out condoms, and it's not to get crass or nothing like that. They would give flavored condoms, studded condoms, and all kinds of stuff. You can go inside the clinic and go and pick up a pack of condoms for free. I remember in 1993, a little before I got into high school, the rapper Eric Sermon came out with a song called Safe Sex. All we need is safe sex. It went from giving children who were teenagers a list of 101 things to do besides sex. One of the things was abstinence, another one was studying, another one, they even went as far as saying you can cuddle. You understand? It went from that to don't even worry about even going to get the free condoms. Ejaculate, roar, and then come on to the clinic and let us put this vacuum by you and suck the baby out. As pointed out on this channel before, you don't see too many weddings like you used to. This is the month of June. And what's promoted is their quote unquote pride. And I see that more in Manhattan than I see people celebrating after graduation. That is there more than seeing people coming from their prom. You understand? They're promoting a matter more so of genocide than procreation. They're promoting a matter of abortion more so than marriage. So as pointed out and stated in closing out, when you are getting an abortion, there's nobody in the room with you taking pictures and sharing smiles and women coming to women and she's asking her mother, Ma, does this baby look like me? You don't get to do that when you have that abortion. You don't get to sit there and say, as some mothers tell the fathers of the child, looks like you, don't he? Looks like you, don't she? You don't get that. You understand? You don't get the chance to say, as pointed out, we're going to be good parents. You don't get the chance, because there are some men who even support quote unquote abortion. You don't allow the child to be a motivation for you to step it up as a brother or as a man or as a father. You don't allow the child, and I'm not going to mention who the mother is, but it's a very great mother, excellent and good mother. I understand she had over 5 children, and then she went back to get her degree in school. This generation is more so about, and I mean no disrespect, lay on your back, get pregnant, come to the clinic, get an abortion, become a vandal of society going against the orders of the courts. Talking about this is my body, my choice. But it's the same court who told you with the Roe versus Wade, it's your choice. So your choice is being determined initially by the same court. But people who have a murderous mind, who have a mind based upon destruction, not love, not peace. As pointed out, you find more in the video that I did about gas prices. You find more about divorce court. Girl, you don't need that man. I ain't dealing with none of these chicks. That kind of mentality, to where now you got parents going to have to pull their children, the ones that's not aborted, up out of schools because they want to say to your daughter she can be a boy. They want to say to your boy that he could be a princess. This society is weird, for the lack of a better term. Going to close out. I think the point has been driven home. Again, there has not been a happy smile at an abortion in the picture. Peace.